Hey everybody, it's me as always, your host Gambit896, and I'm back with another review video for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing American Vampire Volume 3. This is written by Scott Snyder and illustrated by Rafael Albuquerque and Sean Murphy. This is published by DC under their Vertigo imprint, and this third trade collects American Vampire issues 12 through 18 and also collects the 5-issue miniseries which is also written by Scott Snyder and illustrated by Sean Murphy, called Survival of the Fittest. So the story opens up with a kind of a pseudo character closure moment for Skinner Sweet. This is a flashback sequence to a lover that he actually had during his days as an outlaw, and there's references in this to the first story arc of American Vampire, which I've already reviewed on my channel. And if you're interested, I'll put a link to that video in the description, and also Volume 2 as well. So that was kind of a cool character moment for Skinner Sweet. We're then caught up to speed by the character of Lyndon Hobbs, who is the head of the Vassals of the Morning Star, who are basically a secret organization whose ultimate mission is to ultimately wipe out all vampires off the face of the earth within this American Vampire universe, which is set in America. We open up as well with Henry Preston in 1943 in Taipei, which is 20 miles off the coast of Japan, basically writing a letter to his wife Pearl, explaining to her what exactly has gone on and why he's decided to do what he has. If you want to find out what that is, I'll leave it there for you guys to read it and find out. There's also some really great character defining moments and relationship moments in this as well, between Scott Snyder, between Pearl and Henry, on the part of Scott Snyder through his writing. Sorry about that, guys, I got a bit tongue-tied just then. Issues 12 through 18 is the Ghost War storyline, which is essentially a World War II storyline within this American Vampire series. Rafael Albuquerque makes his full return to the art duties of this series. In the second volume, we had a guest artist by the name of Mateus Santaloco, who filled in for a few pages for Rafael, but I'm happy to say that Albuquerque made his full return with this story arc as well, which is pretty cool. Just show you another double page spread of Albuquerque's just fantastic artwork, as you can see there and there. Also in this story arc, as well as the 5-issue mini-series, Scott Snyder continues to expand his vampire mythology, and we have the introduction of a new species of vampire, one which is more instinctive and feral, as you can see there. There's our first appearance of these vampires. And we also get their origin and how these vampires are being created later on in the Ghost War storyline. And here's another example of what these guys actually look like, as you can see there. There's also some great character moments for Pearl Jones and Skinner Sweet as well, who have a kind of a heart-to-heart in the only way that these two could possibly do, in a fight scene between the two, actually, which was really cool. Yeah. There's also some really great sense of camaraderie, I guess you could say, between Henry and his fellow soldiers, who are on a secret covert mission for the Vassals of the Morning Star within this part of the story, and are sent to ultimately investigate the island of Taipei, as the Vassals have received information in the respect that it's infested with vampires, which our boys do find out the hard way. There's also some really cool moments from Skinner Suite as well, as you can see there. He still remains one of my favourite characters, and he's probably the most complex in terms of his motivations, but I'm really excited for the next two story arcs of American Vampire. One which is in the 40s and either the 50s or the 60s. Yeah, 50s and 60s. There's another example of some of the action scenes in this book, as you can see there. Just bear with me, guys, and I'll just turn over my notes, and we'll yeah, this is just a really great main story arc for American Vampire. This is probably my favourite of all the story arcs in the main American Vampire series. Here's the fang fight between Pearl and Skinner I just told you about, as you can see there. It's really quite a shock how this fight scene actually pans out, but I'm not going to show you because I don't want to give away any spoilers. You'll just have to pick this up and read it for yourselves. We then cut back to 1941, and we pick up with Felicia Book, who we were introduced to in the very first story arc of American Vampire, and she also had a prominent role in the second story arc as well. And Sean Murphy's artwork again is just really cool, and just as fantastic as Albuquerque's. This has me even more excited to pick up the trade of his 6-issue limited series, Punk Rock Jesus. And I'll just show you some of the action scenes in this, as you can see there and there. Cash McCogan also shows up in this, and him and Felicia are sent on a covert operation of their own to rescue this doctor. Let me just check the guy's name because I don't want to get it wrong. A Dr. Pavel, who apparently has come up with a cure for vampirism. So Cash and Felicia both have their own personal motivations for wanting to see if this doctor's claims are actually true. Here's another example of one of the really great original series covers by Sean Murphy, as well as the interior artwork. And we're introduced to a faction of the Nazi Party, or the Third Reich, which is the 77th Brigade, which is composed entirely of German Nazi vampires, which was really cool, as you can see there. Scott Snyder still continues to build upon his vampire mythology in this mini-series as well, as we were introduced to the oldest and the most powerful vampires in the world in this 5-issue mini-series, as you can see there. There's also some really great character moments in this for both Cash and Felicia as well. Scott Snyder writes his both his female and male characters equally on par with one another, in my opinion, as both Felicia and Pearl Jones are written very well and are both very strong-willed female characters who you really don't want to get on the wrong side of. Here's our first glimpse of the oldest vampires in this American Vampire universe, as you can see there and there. I just think I'll throw this out there. I think this 5-issue mini-series reads very much like a like an action movie, and I do actually think it would make a really cool movie, actually. Yeah, I just thought I'd just throw that out there. There's a lot of really cool action in this mini-series. There's some great plot twists as well. So, yeah. Overall, this was just a fantastic installment of a fantastic series by Scott Snyder. This is probably my favourite of all the American Vampire volumes that I have, and I'll definitely be reviewing the rest of the series when the trade paperbacks come out. if you're not reading American Vampire and you're a fan of Scott Snyder, I highly recommend you do so, whether it be from his work on Batman, Swamp Thing, or Severed for Image, or if you're a fan of the artwork by Albuquerque or Sean Murphy, or if you just want a really fantastic comic book series that has vampires in it and you're not even a fan of vampires, I still think American Vampire is definitely worth your time and definitely worth checking out. As this, you could probably read this series and just enjoy it for the just fantastic storytelling and the really engrossing story within the pages. Like I said, even if you're not a fan of vampires, or if you're just a fan of Vertigo comics in general, then I definitely think American Vampire is worth checking out. If I had to give this volume a rating, I give it an absolute 5 out of 5. Like I said, highly recommended. That about concludes this review video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. As always, please feel free to leave some comments in the comment section. And if you're new to my channel and you'd like to see more from me, please feel free to click that subscribe button at the top of the screen. And until next time, this is Scambit896 signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.